This is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews. Alright, this is the second half of the remakes. This is non-Disney remakes, in a way. First movie is Ghostbusters. Now this, I don't know, as far as I know, this was the first time that, well, the original is, it's all guys for the Ghostbusters, and it's a female receptionist. Where for the remake, it was all female Ghostbusters and male receptionist. In both versions, they do have great casts. They actually both have one of the stars of each version of Ghostbusters is from Illinois. From the original is Bill Murray. From the remake, it's Melissa McCarthy. And when you watch the remake, there are little Easter eggs that pay, I'd say, an homage to the original version. Besides having actors, big chunk of the original actors from the original version in it. The only person, well, there are two people, but the one is the late Harold Ramis, but he is honored in the movie with a bust, which I found very interesting. I thought it was very nice of the director to put that in there. That way you're honoring the original, or one of the writers of the original movie. Which I actually thought that was pretty nice of them to do that. I just hope, and of course, with the original, there are going to be 2 more sequels. There is only one other sequel that's available on DVD, I think Blu-ray as well now. But there is another sequel that's coming out called Ghostbusters Afterlife. That is, it's not next generation, but it's next generation. So it skips the children and goes to the grandchildren. Because if you've seen the trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife, you hear the girls say, "Oh, it's my grandfather." So it's really 3rd generation, not 2nd generation in Ghostbusters Afterlife from what I've seen. Also, if I ever get to meet the other actors, living actors from this movie, it'd be really nice to have them sign this, because I already had one sign, Ernie Hudson, if you can see that. He played Winston. I do hope when I do get to meet the others, they're just as nice. I assume they'll be just as nice as Ernie Hudson. Next one is, well, the original is What Women Want. The flipped version, I say it's flipped because it's a female lead. This is the female version of that called What Men Want. Both versions are hilarious. Both have great casts. With the original, yeah. With this version, it was a male exec with a daughter who is passed over for higher position. I'm sorry, I keep on referring to a higher position. Passed over for a promotion by a woman. And with the remake, it's what I think a lot of times it's happened is a woman is passed over for a promotion. And of course, yeah, the remake is she's a female sports agent. And of course, the actor who plays Tracy P. Henson's on-screen love interest with the son in this movie, She has worked with him before in Hidden Figures, where he actually played, excuse me, the real life Mary Jackson's husband, which I found very interesting. It's like, okay, they go from on-screen friends in a movie that is historically based to playing on-screen love interests in a fictional movie. I thought that was very interesting. And of course, the way that, well, Taraji P. Henson's character and Mel Gibson's character both are able to read the opposite sex's minds, it's different, but I think with both of them, it's an accident. But with Taraji P. Henson's character in the movie, it's also added voodoo. I'm not sure if it's voodoo or it's something else, but she drinks a special kind of tea. And after she's drunk the tea, and she actually goes to a club with her friends and gets drunk, she has the hit on the forehead accident. And when she wakes up, she realizes she can read men's thoughts, which I find very interesting. I mean, I know she has friends, but she doesn't tell her friends that she can read men's minds. She tells her assistant that, because her assistant is a gay guy, tells, in a weird way, tells him she can read men's minds because she can read his mind. Of course, what women want, it's more. Mel Gibson's character has a friend saying and Mel Gibson tells his character's friend that he can read women's minds. And they both use this, I guess they think it's a curse originally, but they end up realizing it's a gift. They can move forward in their respective fields. And, they can get a promotion. I'm not sure if they don't, because, they do eventually, but they get a cost to something. Or the only reason, Trashy P. Spoiler alert, because that's what happens in the end of the movies. Spoiler alert, with What Men Want, she actually quits the agency she's working for and goes in to starting her own agency with a fellow coworker, with a fellow sports agent. And I thought that was the best way that in that movie, best way to have her boss get his comeuppance is the way the fact that he's have passed her over for promotions before. Is this way to really stick it on. All right, next one is Charlie's Angels. Now these, it's based on a TV series. Both casts are great. Both versions have great casts. And when it came to the remake, they actually made Bosley as, not as a person, but if you were in the army, it was a promotion, go from Angel to Bosley, which I found that very interesting. I thought that was really good. Of course, the remake, there's both male and female Bosleys, and they do have slight, if you barely notice it, there are hints of, they sort of mention the original Charlie's Angels movies and the original series in the remake. In pictures, they digitally did this. They uh, photoshopped Patrick Stewart's head on a lot of the other Bosleys, the fact that his character is the original Bosley. So imagine, the fact that Bill Murray is in this Charlie's Angels movie. See his face photoshopped, Patrick Stewart's face photoshopped over Bill Murray's face. That was interesting. That was very interesting to see. And of course, Elizabeth Banks, who does play the only one of the female Bosleys, she also directed the movie, which I thought was very good. She did a good job at directing the remake. No offense to McGee, because I know he directed the original. But I think, no offense to him, but I think Elizabeth Banks did a better job at doing the newer version of Charlie's Angels. And in the next episode, I will talk about the other movies based on TV series that I own. Alright, the next remake. Just so you know, this version of Annie is Disney. This version of Annie is Sony. Both versions have great casts. They are based on a musical called Annie. And there was a movie before this version that starred, if I remember, two of the actors that played brother and sister. Carol Burnett and Tim Curry played Mrs. Hannigan and her brother Rooster Hannigan. And it was good. The Disney version takes place when the musical actually takes place, which is in 1934, somewhere around there. Around the time that FDR, or Franklin Roosevelt, was elected president of the United States. And yes, the difference is, I would say, White Annie, White Mr. Warbucks versus a Black Annie and a black version of Mr. Warbucks, or Daddy Warbucks, if you will. And that's where the remake is the modern day telling of it, because instead of orphanage is being in foster care. And this movie was the last time, was actually Cameron Diaz's last movie before she retired. And believe me, she retired. Don't know why. My guess is she just didn't want to act anymore. Not sure. But she did a great job as Miss Hannigan. But the Disney version is more closely related to the musical, because it actually takes place the same year the musical actually takes place. I had not seen the musical, but I've seen pictures of other actors playing that character on stage. I think I saw a picture of Sarah Jessica Parker playing the role of Annie. And I think, back to the Cameron Diaz being in the remake of Annie, I think I'm not sure if she actually based her version of Mrs. Hannigan off of Carol Burnett's version of Mrs. Hannigan, but it is something. And with the Disney version, it did have Kristen Chenoweth as Lily St. Regis, which I find very interesting. I think that was her first Disney made-for-TV movie musical. I mean, yes, she went on to do Descendants, and actually before she did Descendants, she did The Music Man, which I think she did a very good job. Alright, next one is Footloose. There's not much I can say for Footloose except that for the original, you see a young Kevin Bacon. Sorry, not yeah, young Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon himself gave his blessing for the remake to be made. There is a musical that is based on the original movie. I have not seen it. I know it's out there. Hopefully, when Broadway opens up and Broadway in Chicago opens up, the musical Footloose will come back, and I will probably be able to. I hope to see it. Now, with the remake, yes, it's. I'm just double checking here. Yeah, this is only Dennis Quaid's second remake. The other one was Parent Trap. And he does great in both versions. It's interesting to see him play a dad, but it's good because that shows that he can actually play a dad. All right, second and last one. Hairspray. Yes, the original version. Yeah, and yes, you do see John Marr's signature on there. Because when he actually he came to my alma mater, Columbia College. This is the ticket stub I have for when I went to see him. Yeah, and after this, I realized I gotta take out the paper that's in between the plastic and the actual case. Actually have the actors or the celebrities sign it instead of the actual plastic. And that's something I suggest you do if you ever do decide to have a celebrity sign something one of their movies I don't know how to say it. A movie of theirs you own. That's how I say it. This was then there was a musical based on this movie, and then there was a movie based on the musical. And the late Jerry Stiller, great cast for both versions, but the late Jerry Stiller was in both versions. In the original version, he played Wilbur Turnblad. In this version, the movie musical version, he played Mr. Pinky, which I thought was very interesting. And of course, in the remake, you do have cameos by the original. Oh boy, how to say it. The original writer, director, producer of Hairspray in the movie. First song, you actually see him. And I swear the song is hilarious. I applaud the songwriters for writing that song. And I applaud Adam Shakeman for actually getting John Mars to be in the movie. And Zach, as I said in a previous episode, when I was talking about movie franchises, this was one of the last movie musicals until The Greatest Showman that Zac Efron did. I know he mentions it in interviews that, it had been years since he had been in a movie musical. Yeah, it had been years between. Actually, I actually checked his filmography. It had been a few years since actually High School Musical 3, because Hairspray came out before High School Musical 3. The last one is The Producers. The only movie I can honestly say Mel Brooks actually won Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Both versions have great casts. I mean, and honestly, Nathan, if you're watching this, nothing against you. You did a great job at playing Max Bialystok. It's just, I think Zero Mostel did a better job at playing the role. I mean, I know it's probably not my only opinion. I'm probably not the only person who thinks the original is so much better than the movie musical version, because there's a reason it didn't do well. People don't like it when you mess with the original classic like that, like the producers. And Mel Brooks, yes, he wrote and directed the first movie. He only wrote and co-wrote and co-produced the movie musical version of it. And I know it was at his late wife, his wife, the late Anne Bancroft's, at her saying, "Oh, you write the music for the musical." I know she Mel Brooks, if you're watching this, I know she wanted you to do the musical version of the producers, but I gotta say, with the rest of the fans of the original is better. It's just, you can't top that. And that's it. As I said, the next episode is my movies based on TV series. And this is RHM for RHM Movie Review, saying off.